Bienvenido al nuevo episodio de Café con Kyan.
大家午安，欢迎收看这个礼拜下午的 Coffee with Kyan.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for watching this week's
Coffee con
Kyan. That was just about as campy as it can be.
It's all good. It's all good. It's a great
We'll
start.
rehearse it better, but yeah, thank you for coming on board this week.
Thank you
Yay!
for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
So, Allie and I have known each other for a very long time without us knowing that.
Yes, it's true. We actually play volleyball against each other in a league back in Boston, where I actually grew up.
Circa 2009.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
We've been around.
Yeah.
So, and then we also discovered a lot of things that besides we both love to travel, and we
Very
both
much.
love to go to different places.
Yeah.
Our love for semi-coffee / a little collection of things.
Yes.
So we're gonna dive in a little bit of all these sectors. But let's start with travel because obviously you came from a very different background and all these locations.
So basically, I was born in Venezuela, and my parents met there. And then I grew up in the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo. When I was 18, I moved to Boston. I started as a 1-year break from high school, and then fell in love with the beach town, and I ended up doing college there. And I lived there for 17 years. And then I had a great opportunity to move to Miami. I was there for 3 years, lived the Miami lifestyle. And South Beach, woohoo! And then, and then I had an opportunity. I think at my adventurous spirit, wanted to relocate somewhere else because I think I did what I needed to do in Miami, and I decided it was between either San Diego, Milan, or Atlanta. And throughout my family and then throughout my friends, like, please don't move that far away. I kind of settled here in Atlanta, Georgia, which it was the best decision I made.
Turned out to be a pretty good central focal point of Florida. I know you have family in New York and New Jersey.
Correct. So I have family in New York. I have in New Jersey. My sister lives there, and my mom still lives in Boston, and some of my brothers. And then I have a brother in Tallahassee, and my core family is actually in the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo. So I can go anywhere for free, which is great. And I like to visit, so I go to Miami every 3 months to visit my friends or family, and so on and so forth.
Can't complain about that lifestyle.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, we both take a lot of weekend trips. We will know our way of, a Friday afternoon, early evening, how to jump on get to the airport. And thankful for Marta.
Yeah,
make a lot of things happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so pretty good weekend trips here and there.
Absolutely.
So, funny thing about us being an international company, being a UK-based company, I think we naturally attract a lot of international breeds, and then people from all walks of background, cultural, and then sometimes nationality. Sometimes both of us.
I agree.
And then that English wasn't our first language
No,
either.
at
Then being multilingual, seeing through many different cultural aspects of things, especially you have been through. Even though Spanish is a common language, but there are a lot of cultural differences based on that.
I agree. I mean, people think that when you speak Spanish, it's the same Spanish. We understand each other, but if you think about Spanish from Mexico, Colombia, even Spain, the roots are the same. We understand each other, but some parts, some lingos are completely different. So you might say one word here, it might mean a bad word in another country. So you say something, you're like, what did you say again? And you're like, oh, and then that tells you what it means, and you're like, oh, so sorry, my bad,
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, the fun part about having one language that people can kind of mold it, change the meaning of some words, and I think it makes more fun about it. So.
I know, but sometimes we have the British English versus American English, and obviously in Atlanta, we are in the, Texas folks and Florida folks, we call it the Southern capital, Atlanta. We have people that coming from here, born and raised here, have a lot of people that moved to Atlanta for various reasons.
Absolutely.
I think that obviously attract a lot of business. That Atlanta is very booming.
Correct.
So we have that very good, vibrant broad, but also that sometimes we compare about our upbringing.
Agree.
The words that we use are all a little different.
I agree.
So walk me through a little bit more. I didn't know you were in Boston for 18 years.
Yeah, 17 years.
17 years.
I loved it, but I feel like after going through 3 blizzards, and I had an opportunity, I could not see more snow. So when the Miami opportunity came, I was like, when do I start packing? When do you need me by? So I think my boss at the time told me like on a Wednesday, by Friday I was already packed. So yeah, 17 years. I miss it sometimes, but now I can go there as a vacation spot. I have family there. But
truly enjoy the city versus.
Yeah, it's so much culture. Like if I feel like I need my culture, then I go to Boston because everyone is from Harvard or MIT, and you go to Central Square and you kind of have that flair. I think that sometimes I get homesick and I go home and have some lobster rolls or have whatever, and
some of the best steakhouses as well.
I agree.
Are on Boston too.
I agree.
So we went through all these collections. This is a funny thing that she didn't know I have this hobby. I neither know that I have for her. So tell us about your little collection that you have started building.
So my boyfriend and I, we've been doing little trips here and there.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert. And
the Australian, Austrian.
He's Austrian. And so I think our first trip was to Miami, and we were at their Starbucks, waiting for our flight, and we saw the cups, and then we kind of figure out through asking the barista. They say, "Oh yeah, there's collection for in every city." So we've been doing day trips and whatever, and so we bought the first one, and then we went to I think it was Tennessee. We went to Rock City, and then we went to again a Starbucks in front of Rock City, and they had Tennessee, and we bought another one, and then he had a trip to Austria, and he bought me Vienna, where he's actually from.
I'm so jealous. I actually don't have that one.
Yeah, so this was the first international one. And then he also landed in Amsterdam, and he got me Amsterdam. So now every time we go to a different city, we start collecting it. And then one weekend at Kyan's place,
she came by my place from Music Midtown.
Yes, and I stay in the second bedroom. And thank you for hosting me, by the way.
You're very welcome.
And when I go to the bedroom, I see this collection. Was like, oh, like a moment.
Collection of my 87 city mugs.
I was like, Kyan, what is this? He came running into the room. Was like, I collect them too. I become so jealous. So I guess another common thing that we have is mugs. So thank you, Starbucks.
That's crazy.
You can send me as many mugs as you like.
Oh, absolutely.
Please feel free.
And especially that the city mug collection have gone from many generations. I think this is one of the older generation, but we obviously have several of us all came out from a barista background, and then this is one of the older versions. And then the newer one, which the common thing that we have, this is the You Are Here collection. I believe that went live roughly about 4 to 5 years ago. If you have the solid information, feel free to comment and then correct us on this, all these info. And then they started with the traditional version in the petite size to make it a little bit more unique and memorable.
So now I feel like if I buy a house or something, I have to have a closet because I really want the entire collection. And I'm a traveler by heart, so I think my collection is only going to get bigger and bigger. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and especially hopefully no earthquake that make this all.
I'm going to insure it. But again, if Starbucks wants to send me another one, I'll give you my address.
I'm always taking donations. I can welcome for donation for my 88th mug in this case.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of your favorite travel places. I'm sure you have some go-tos.
Oh my goodness! So I think. If I make money, one of the things I like to spend it is to travel. I think it's nothing better than experiences and the people that you meet throughout the world. I think this is an amazing world and so much to explore. Yeah. My first time I fell in love was with Iceland. Iceland is phenomenal. And living in Boston, you have the luxury, there's only a 5-hour flight. And so I've been there in all 4 seasons. And it's fantastic, recommended. It's like a different planet,
the
literally.
Blue Lagoon is definitely on my bucket list.
Yes, it smells funky, but it's worth the money.
I have a fascination about volcanoes.
Yeah,
and it has that sulfur style.
Yeah, when you fly over Iceland, you can see actually the volcanoes. So you see like all the smoke coming out of the volcanoes. So, and the people are super nice.
That's so cool. In New York.
Yeah. So when I get, I have money, I either travel on my own, or now I have a partner, so I travel with him. But I'm pretty fortunate that I have friends all around the world, so I can really pick a country and be able just to go and I don't have to pay for stay, which is usually the most expensive part when you travel. Yeah. Also, it helps them that I am really adventurous by heart, so I just really pick a country, pick a place, and just figure out.
Have you been here? No, never. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. I think it's nothing to lose. I think you have to be a little, have a great personality, and I think not be shy. And if you have
enjoy trying new things too.
I agree. And if you want go to a culture and you have a great smile, good intention, even if you're trying to speak the language and you don't know how to speak it, usually people are very appreciative of that.
Absolutely.
And usually English is a universal language, so that even with their broken English or my broken English, we can kind of communicate with each other. So.
Still making deals out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And carry a book of business in your
I
way.
agree.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because I think neither one of us was born and raised in the U.S.
Correct.
Now going to a almost unknown territory. Some people may argue that they grew up in one city or state and moved to the other side of the country, so on and so forth. But it's to each of its own. It's all a different adventure. Let's talk a little bit about that now, going into from beyond high school, college, and all those in the professional world.
So I was traveling since I was a little girl. My mom would send me by myself to the Dominican Republic. So I remember having a little tag with the flight attendant, and I get the little plane
Watch for this one. This one costs trouble.
Yeah, I used to have a collection actually growing up, and I think that kind of. They gave me like that seed inside to be a traveler, and I have a sister who she was living throughout her backpack and traveled all around Latin America and in Europe, and I always admire her. So I always said, when I grow up, I want to be like her. And so in college, when I got a first big paycheck or money refund from college, my dream was always to go to Japan. And because I was very fascinating back in the 80s, I'm an 80s baby, watching Japanese cartoons. And so I said, when I have the money, I will go to Japan.
80s cartoons would be what? Dragon Balls? Doraemon?
I can't. No, that's 90s most
That would
likely.
be 90s.
But I always have fun. And there was a channel back in the Dominican. It was showing Japanese programming. And you watch origami and cooking and culture, and I actually like Japanese telenovelas.
Oh,
and
wow.
soap operas. So, and they teach you how to speak Japanese. So I said, when I have the money, I'm going to go to Japan. So at Thanksgiving, I actually bought a ticket and went to Japan by myself.
By yourself?
By myself for 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
So I went through backpacking through Tokyo, Nara, Osaka, Kobe, and Oshigama, and it was the best experience I had.
That's a life-changing experience.
It did, because by then you didn't have Airbnb, you didn't have other access to
cell phones probably.
No, so I literally print out a bunch of hostels. I didn't know whether they were real or not, and I got a train pass to go through entire Japan, including the bullet train.
Hostel International. I remember I used to buy that membership.
I was a member, and so literally I landed in Tokyo and I stayed in a love hotel for my first night. It was very interesting.
The love hotel.
Yeah, and then I literally just figure out, and from there I realized that that's something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I came back crying actually after that trip. I was like, I don't want to come back, because I had so much fun. Like Japan was like it's still one of the best trips I ever taken in my entire life.
So how come you didn't somehow end up in the travel industry?
That's so funny. People say that all the time. Maybe in my next life. I actually have a couple personal goals, maybe starting a blog or something like that, because I know how to travel. People think that traveling is expensive, and actually it's not expensive. It's how you do it. I mean, I try to, for instance, I tell people, if you go to Paris and you wanna eat at the restaurant, don't eat in a restaurant next to the Eiffel Tower. It's a tourist trap. It's gonna cost you 30 euros for Europe.
And not the true Parisian
And it's
experience.
not true Parisian. They Americanize it to be able to allure more tourists. But if you go, I actually had a meal with two other girlfriends, and we were 5 streets behind the Eiffel Tower. I can actually see the top, and we had an amazing deal, including with a bottle of wine, and we each paid around 17 euros, and it was the best dinner we had. So one of my rules of thumb is, if the menu has any English, I don't eat there, because for me it's not authentic. They're trying to cater to tourists. I really want to experience, just figure it out, the local culture. So I can tell you that if you go to places and they don't speak English, usually you're gonna have a really good experience and a really good meal, and it's cheaper on your wallet.
Even though it takes a lot of ala.
Yeah, but I think it's part of I think that's a great thing about traveling, is the adventure part. Because if you know everything is gonna happen, it's not an adventure. I feel like trying to figure out in a safe way, of course. I like that. That's what makes my adrenaline oh my God, let's see this thing, like the unknown of traveling. That's what I really like. I don't know. I tell people be careful with anything English. Stay away. Usually, plane tickets can be very cheap depending on when you buy and the seasons and so forth. But the most costly part of it is to stay, make friends. Like now we have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, you have so many different ways you can connect. And of course, do it in a safe manner. You can connect so many people, and they're always welcome for foreigners.
Connect and make friends along the way, and then build those relationships.
I agree. I mean, I can probably say I can go to more countries I can count with my finger, and I show friends I have relationships with, and I don't have to pay to stay ever again. So which is amazing, because now it's like, where do I want to go? And I just
gain that really local experience and then the flair.
I agree.
That translates a lot into, I think, in the business sense wise, looking at the tenacity, looking at the perseverance, looking at making things happen. But it takes a lot of sometimes making something out of nothing, especially when you don't speak the language, when you don't know what's going on, what's the surrounding. You have to get yourself just throw in that environment to making things happen.
I agree.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more, because I know you came in with various type of business development background, sales background. So walk us through a little bit more about that.
I think one of the things that travel has given me is a lot of not only great spirits and have a lot of high, how can I say, not being shy. My auto-esteem is actually really good, is be able to talk to any client, to be able to talk to a CEO, to the cleaning person, and be able to feel comfortable about it, not feel nervous.
Yeah.
When it comes to travel, you have to kind of break that shell and be able to say, ask for help, or ask, where's the bathroom, give me a beer, and ask for things and also deliver things. And when it comes to a business sense, I feel very comfortable to talking to anyone. Like, I'm not afraid of, I'm not people shy.
Because that's already beyond the point.
Beyond, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's one of the things I think I've been very successful on, talking to people, building relationships, maintain those relationships. Some of my clients actually became friends, or are my friends, which is kind of awkward because now they know me on a personal level. And I love to maintain that relationship. And I think some people are thinking about the transactional part of the business. That will come after you build a relationship. People are not going to give you anything just because you say, give it to me. You have to build that trust and really pay your dues in a certain way. And then after that, once they trust you, they can give you the keys of the gates. So.
That really is more of an elevated perspective specific. It has to be value driven, as it's a two-way street.
Correct.
I think you have obviously a great personality to start, but by you be able to see things in a much bigger horizon and perspective, I think that we know, obviously, how people call it maturity, but I think that the cultural aspect of things really brings in a lot more flair.
Agree.
And make the whole process a lot more fun.
I agree. And I think people are afraid of rejection. And I feel like if they say no, they say no. Maybe you don't understand why what is the behind the no. It might be a bad day, it might be a breakup, might be different circumstances. So it's like making new friends. Not everybody wants to be your friend.
And might be more people involved.
Exactly.
More opportunity to make more friends.
Exactly.
So connect.
Exactly. If that person doesn't want your business or doesn't want to be your friend, there's thousands of other people that want to be your friends and want to give you business. So.
And especially in niche. We talk about Salesforce, they always come back.
Yes, absolutely. They say no now, but they come back.
How Salesforce plays in this whole spectrum now, I think for the past few months for you?
Well, I've been talking to people with different backgrounds, which is actually helps be able to have that familiarity with them. Like if you talk to someone from Montreal, I've been in Montreal, so you can have an icebreaker. And also now with Dreamforce, I'm going to be talking to and meeting people from all around the world in San Francisco, which I'm very excited about, and be able to not only to connect with them in a personal but also in a professional level.
Just getting to know them a lot more.
Correct. And when it comes to Salesforce, there's a lot of international companies coming here. And for instance, I'm trilingual, so it kind of helped me to reach out with companies that are Hispanic-based or Italian-based or English-based. So it kind of helps now. Salesforce really taking over so many different industries all around the world, and be able to work in a platform that you can kind of talk to people in different languages is actually pretty awesome too.
Especially your background is a little different too. You have it came in with a lot of sales and business development background.
Correct.
But also you have been a Salesforce end user / super user in the past.
Yeah. So
how crazy is that?
I know, it's so bizarre because I learned Salesforce back in 2012 as an end user, and it was like, what is this? But it really was a game changer for the company I was working for. And in one of my past life, in my previous job in Miami, they were using Salesforce as looking for phone numbers, and I was like, what is going on? We are a sales team, we need to know what, have graphics and have forecasts and we need to know what's going on.
The analytics portion of things.
Absolutely. So I talked to my CEO, I'm like, this has to change, we need to talk. So, and he was paying for licenses that people were using for a directory. So I sit down with him and said, this is how we're gonna use this is what it's for, and let's make it happen. So I did a whole Salesforce instructional booklet. And then I talked to my developer, and I said, this is what I need Salesforce to do I need to see
implement.
Exactly. I said, I need every sale, every loss, everything that comes in the pipeline, every call, we need to be able to see it. And because I did that, my CEO actually promoted me as a sales operations manager. And so for me, I had a team of 7 people that I had to look over to make sure that we're making their matrix. And so when he saw that, when he asked me for reports and I give him like all this analytics, and he's like, I didn't know this. So I am very passionate about Salesforce because I know exactly what I can do as an end user and also as a behind the scenes. So when I had this opportunity, I was like, please call me in, because I can definitely, there's an educational piece on Salesforce. People don't understand. They only see like, oh my God, it's so expensive, but they don't see like all the different things that can do for your company, how can take you to the next level.
Absolutely, and now being especially a very strong advocate for Salesforce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in Salesforce, and talk to your clients and candidates essentially throughout all your areas.
Actually, today I got a call from a candidate, and he said, Allie, I want to talk to you about Salesforce. You have a minute? And I'm like, of course. So he called me. He's a developer in Vermont, and he said, I'm thinking about going to Salesforce. What did you think? And I was like, do it. Absolutely.
What are you waiting for?
It's like, do you want to, it's like, it's a career that's going to take you to the next level. Like you can demand, when you have a Salesforce certification and the other certificates you have, now you are demanding, because there's more jobs out there that actually great qualified candidates. So it's like, this can take you to a completely different level. And he's like, all right, let me get my information. I think I'm going to get my So Salesforce, I'm working for you too.
Very nice. What was your experience like, especially a few weeks ago when we all went to Trailhead?
Yeah.
I think that we all talked about with that episode about everybody's experience. I think for you, it's obviously a little bit of a mixed feeling. It seems a lot more on the positive side for sure, but especially seeing how through the years of transition what Salesforce had become.
Yeah, I feel like I miss a lot of it's almost missing a great party.
I know.
Because I was like part of the in-group, and now I was like, I'm from the outside, like I want to be part of it.
It's like you see that niece or nephew you haven't seen for a few years, like, oh, you already got those
I know. Actually, I was blown away, not only because the passion that people are having for Salesforce, and I didn't hear any negativity about it.
Oh yeah.
But it also was mind-blowing how it's growing. Like now artificial intelligence, now you can do so many great things that Salesforce did not do back in 2013.
It was still fairly manual to automated process, but now there's Einstein behind it. The AI.
Yeah, the AI is fantastic, and I think they really are working to take over the world, which is fantastic. Because if a company can implement Salesforce really cater for their needs, and it's really amazing how Coca-Cola and bigger companies, smart companies, are really changing their culture and the way to do business, because now they have a weapon to do business the right way and be able to control everything that's happening.
To have that tool, that's very efficient. So
I agree.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So talk a little bit about your territory specifically, what you're focusing on right now.
Oh, I have a lot of great territories that are actually trying to grow, specifically DC area, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Indiana, Kentucky, Delaware. So it's great because there's a lot of demand of Salesforce. I'm definitely trying to get my name and known by everyone there. And I'm really excited because the South is still growing, and there's a lot of potential, and a lot of companies are, because of taxes or whatever it is, are moving to smaller towns, and now they're implementing.
Like Atlanta, you look at the previous Sandy Springs, now Chambly, Doraville.
Correct.
Got lots of cool town that
Correct.
cost of living differences and so on.
Absolutely. So now I'm working with small companies that are implementing Salesforce. They don't even know what they need. So now you have to kind of had a company, for instance, in New Jersey, who's like, the guy called me and said, Allie, I want to get into Salesforce. I got Salesforce, but I don't know what I need. Me being an expert on Salesforce, I told him, tell me what you're trying to do, and I'd be able to not only get the person, place them there, and he's absolutely happy. So you're going to find a lot of companies that want to be part of the trend, but they don't know how to do it, and having an expert like myself or any of my teammates is great because we can guide them through the process, and we find the right person. Correct.
Yeah. Very cool. So tell us about the that individual, because I know that you got a little special present
Mustafa.
that very afternoon. That was very cool.
So Mustafa, he's the consultant that I placed there. He was just so excited. He couldn't believe I got him a job, and he just like an hour or 2 hours later, I got a messenger here with flowers and wrote me the most awesome note I ever got for a client. It kind of make me cry. So shout out for Mustafa for that. And he's definitely very happy, and he continues to deliver. And my client is happy because they have exactly what they're looking for. So that's what I love about my job, is having two different worlds connected through me, and they're both satisfied with the results. So
good.
Yeah.
So now looking at the next few weeks, got a lot of very exciting things on your pipeline, and some obvious goals that we have to hit. So looking at Dreamforce, what are you looking to achieve before, during, and after Dreamforce? What is your motive? What is your vision,
of course,
mission,
to
value?
grow my brand. I want people to know who I am and what I can deliver. So I'm trying definitely to make great connections, not only in a personal level, but also on a business level. I really want to get new customers, new clients, new candidates.
Yourself to be even more well known.
Correct. And I also would like to learn what's Dreamforce and what's really Salesforce, because we saw Trailhead, but we were a spectator. Now we are working on Salesforce. In Dreamforce. At Dreamforce. And so it's going to be a different experience, and I'm really looking forward for the results for that.
Exciting. So what's on the horizon for you on a personal and professional level?
More travel. I'm just kidding.
Where are you going for the rest of the year?
Well,
besides San Francisco.
I'm going to a cruise in 2.5 weeks to the Bahamas.
Exciting.
I'm very excited. I've never been in the Bahamas.
4 days, 5 days, 4 nights?
It's a weekend trip. So we fly into Miami, and then we going on a cruise from Friday to Monday. So I definitely want to do the shark. Swimming with a shark has always been my dream. And there's a beach in Oxma, I believe, that you can swim with pigs. And it's an island full of pigs. And so we were going to try to see if we can go to that island. No, it's like half an hour to an hour away.
I'll be waiting for your Snapchat videos.
Oh my God, it's going to be awesome. And then for the rest of the year, I went to Austria already. I went to Dominican, and we've been doing small trips. So I think we're trying to figure out whether go to like Asheville for Thanksgiving. He's not going to Austria this year, so we're trying to figure. Definitely Miami for New Year's. We're gonna do Miami for New Year's because that's where my other people are. Of course, that's like my core friends are there, and it's just always a blast. So most likely a week because we are closed for business that week.
You can still contact us.
But yeah, you can call me anytime, 24/7.
Make it. We're still at your semi at your expense. We're here to make things happen for you.
Absolutely, but so most likely Miami. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So one last thing, for anybody who's working with you or who is in your pipeline want to work with you, what do you have advice or what do you have to say for them to tell them about who you are?
We're gonna fight for you. My job is to get you exactly what you're looking for or match it. I'm not gonna give you unrealistic expectations because my word for me is my everything. So I want to be able to deliver, and for my clients is really to understand what are your needs, what you're looking for, and to be able to deliver to that, and really to grow really strong relationships, not only with the clients, with the candidates, but even with the entire Salesforce community. I really want to have that strong bond and be able to deliver exactly what they're looking for. So.
Fantastic. Thank you, Allie, for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
This is a fun episode. If you have any question for us, please give us a call at 678-291-0081. And you can also find Allie at
Allie Caro. Allie.caro@itworksrec.com.
We'll be commenting on this section, and obviously appreciate everybody's feedback and then comments on anything that you may have. And then I think now, here's Melissa with a little bit ass shot edit bonus for us. We'll see you guys next week.
Au revoir. Bye-bye.